Good morning. This is Jeremy with CSI Linux. Wanted to walk through one additional thing we've added. So we're going to be working on some better interfaces over the next few months. So a lot of the stuff should be done by the release of 2024. So with that being said, the first one that we have is going to be the replacement for what is my IP address. So what's my IP? When you click on it, we do still see the black screen or the courtesy shell up in the back end, but this is going to be a nice little GUI. Once it boots up, it should give our surface web IP address and our Tor address. So it's going to give a map of what our surface address is. So this is pretty accurate, at least it gets it in the right region, especially if you're doing an investigation, it's going to give you in the right jurisdiction. So here I have run it in the past. So these were my previous connections. So I'm going to kill these real quick. This is going to be the notes section or case notes section. I'm just going to put cleared. Spelling it correctly would be nice. So right now we do see we are connected to this IP address on Surface Web, this IP address through the Tor proxy. Tor proxy is always running in CSI Linux if you can connect to Tor. So there's a lot of tools that don't need to go through the Tor VPN. It's just that adds an additional layer of security. So in the background here, we do see some of the information. This is going to be going away in the future because most of our stuff is going to be right here in our status bar. But I'm going to go ahead and go Tor, new Tor identity. So we can actually see what it's doing in the backside is it's connecting to the Tor service or control port and then asking for a new IP address. So right now we see that the IP address did change. So here we did implement a target directly into the CSI Tor VPN. In the future, we're going to make a bunch of modifications to that as well. And there's a good possibility it's just going to be an all-in-one what is my IP address slash CSI Tor VPN, where you'll have all the information, be able to control right then and there. But right now, it's still connecting to the old way of doing things. So this should be pretty streamlined and not cause any issues. So here, since I'm in a VPN, I'm going to turn it on. This is going to take probably about 30 seconds or so. It's going through its older process or its current process. Once it makes the connection, it's resetting. It is trying to connect. We weren't able to get IP location from this process, but we will or should be able to through the GUI interface. So now it's passed back to the GUI because it made sure that Tor was able to restart. And it was able to update this as well. So now our Tor proxy within our Tor connection is connected through Florida. And our surface IP address is in the EU. So this makes it a little bit nicer, a little bit easier, better to play with. We also added themes. So if you don't like the dark theme, you can always go light theme. And then once you're done, if you want to save the case notes, you can hit save and close. If you do not want to store the session information in that specific instance, you just go and exit out on top right now. So there are, at this point, there are two different variations. You might have save and exit or save and close, or sorry, exit and just save and close. But all in all, update's pretty quick. In the background, because we were getting that error on the previous one where we see the client doesn't have permission to get URL, we're actually checking 3 IP geolocation databases. If those fail, it actually checks check.torproject.org just to verify that we are going through Tor. And if the surface web is, we'll get a message saying you're on Tor, or congratulations, you're on Tor. So we do have some backup at this point, some verification. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick disconnect and turn this back off. So CSI VPN Tor off. In the background, again, it's still doing its thing. Resetting the adapter, resetting all the DNS and everything. And it should update once the old Tor VPN or the current Tor VPN releases its information, and now it's back and updated. So in a nutshell, this is the new WhatIsMyIP address. One last thing I did want to mention is it does offer a little bit more extra. So if you did want a little bit more in your case notes, you can move these. You can also detach them, so now they're both in the same area. What you can also do is pull it all the way out. You can put it back in. So now I just want these case notes all the way out here, so I have a full-grown screen, and I can then just start playing around from there. So I'll go and save and close, and that's the end of the demo.